Today's episode of the Wrestle Arc Podcast is brought to you guys by SeatGeek. Guys, SeatGeek is the official sponsor of the Wrestle Arc Podcast, where you can get tickets for comedy shows, Broadway shows, sporting events, you name it, they have it. SeatGeek is also there so you don't get screwed over when they give you the best ticket sales for a bunch of different seats they have. Again, be sure to go to I almost said something else. Be sure to go to SeatGeek.com. That's SeatGeek.com, or download the mobile app on your phones today. And we'd also like to thank TeePublic for sponsoring this episode of the Wrestle Arc Podcast as well. TeePublic is where you can get the official merchandise for the Wrestle Arc Podcast. You guys can get t-shirt designs such as Raw is Wrestle Arc, my Cue the Explosion t-shirt, Aled's I'm the Boss t-shirt, and of course, Christian Vega's Always Hack the Wheel t-shirt. And guys, right now, you have to get these shirts within the next eight hours, because as of now, these shirts are $16. So if you want to get them at a pretty cheap price, buy them right now before the time runs out. Again, go to teepublic.com. That's teepublic.com/user/WrestleArc. That will be in the description below. What's going on, everybody? We're back again. Another week. We got the Wrestle Arc Podcast. I'm here with my good friends Liam and Raul. And then there's also Peyton, too.
Hi.
Hello.
What up?
Today, as you can see by the thumbnail, the main thing we're going to talk about, why Peyton doesn't know how to make a fucking thumbnail.
In 13 minutes, no less.
Yes.
Yeah, we had...
We'll forget about wrestling for a second.
Just forget about wrestling for a second. Let's just bash Peyton. Yeah, people, you guys don't know this, but literally 13 minutes or 5 minutes before the podcast started, Radio changed the thumbnail without us knowing because Peyton couldn't do it. He came in clutch, so if anyone is in the stream right now, put a W Radio in the chat for us. Make sure you put a W Radio in the chat.
W Radio.
W Radio, and if you want to, you can also put an L Peyton. Because
I'm going to do a United Empire version of the W. There we go. I'm doing it right now.
You're doing a United Empire version? What's that?
Rounds up.
Nah, I'm good, bruv.
You're good, bruv. Alright, but we got a good amount of stuff to talk about. Of course, we had Smackdown this past Friday, where we saw Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis try to sign Randy Orton to either SmackDown or Raw. And after the show, before the show ended, Randy Orton chose to sign with SmackDown, and even afterwards, he RKO'd Nick Aldis, which was pretty funny. So what do you guys think of Randy Orton going to SmackDown, and what do you think can happen within the next few weeks, considering Roman is going to be here next week on SmackDown?
Randy's probably going to face him at the Rumble, probably. Because he was never given his title shot at all.
It seems like it's going to happen. Besides, the Bloodline were the ones to take him out, so it makes sense.
I was about to say that because obviously Randy Orton returned last Monday on Raw after his triumphant return at War Games, and then he pretty much outlined immediately that he's targeting the Bloodline, and he said he'd be showing up on SmackDown that Friday. Got an apology from Jey Uso backstage on Raw, but so it looks like Jey Uso's not going to be in the picture for that, but we'll see. You can never trust a Randy Orton because he's a snake.
You can never trust a Viper.
Snake.
Yeah, and then, obviously, as you already mentioned, this past Friday on SmackDown, Adam Pearce, Nick Aldis fight to vie for his signature, and of course he chose SmackDown because where did the Bloodline live? They live on SmackDown. And just before, I'm pretty sure they were looking to build towards Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam.
Sorry, Liam, we're interrupting you. Hi, Vega.
Welcome.
Hi, Vega.
Forgot to tell you guys, Vega was going to be here within a few short minutes. That's why we have Raul for a short bit. He's going to be a part of a video that's going to be coming out later, I assume this weekend? Tomorrow. There's going to be a video featuring Raul, Peyton, and Aled. yeah, there's going to be a video featuring them. They're going to be talking about what they think could happen at the Royal Rumble. So if you want to know our thoughts on what will happen in the Royal Rumble, be sure to check out tomorrow's video. But now back to what we were talking about. Vega, what do you think goes down with Randy Orton on SmackDown within the next few weeks, considering Roman will be back next week?
He's gonna confront Roman. That's the first thing that's gonna happen. Because, you know, they're already planning feuds with him and the Bloodline.
Now, the other question, does he RKO Roman Reigns?
He could.
I think he'll try to.
Yes.
He'll
Roman
try,
will escape.
but eventually fail.
I think Roman will escape. Roman's going to
Yeah.
escape the RKO for weeks until, if they have a match at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, then I think Randy will hit it, but we'll get the Roman famous kick out at 2.999999999999999.
Nice.
2.9 a million nines.
But the question is,
yes.
the question is, right? I mean, we all know Randy's going to make the Bloodlines life a living hell, but there's also one person who is allegedly supposed to show up on SmackDown tomorrow night, and that, of course, is the phenomenal AJ Styles. He's
I'm going to be
Yes.
What does he factor
By the
into
way,
this?
it's about time. Like,
Are you heading
What
out,
does he
Raul?
factor into
I
this?
am.
All right, well, we'll see you
All
in a bit.
right.
Goodbye.
See you, Raul.
boy,
You guys
And
will
I
see
asked this
Raul.
question. I asked this question because Eled's clearly has been fuming the past few days about that it should be AJ Styles versus Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble, which I personally do somewhat agree with, because they can always leave Randy and Roman until the Chamber, but it's quite nice to set something up now, especially now that long-term storytelling is a device WWE uses these days.
Yeah, unlike AEW, which we'll get to AEW later because some things
bad.
are going on with AEW.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
good old
You know what makes
AEW.
me sad about Randy Orton being on SmackDown?
What's up, buddy?
What?
We won't get to see Randy Orton RKO Rhea Ripley for a while.
It'll
I
still
want
happen
it- I
down the
want-
line.
See it. I really want to see it.
Equal rights and equal fights. Am I right, boys? No, I mean, what?
Randy Orton is the
Yeah.
only wrestler that believes in gender equality.
Of course.
Yeah.
So
What?
like an RKO a dude, like an RKO a woman.
He's done it before.
Oh.
He's RKO'd
Yes.
Nia Jax and he's RKO'd Alexa Bliss.
To be honest, I see it as a mark of honor, regardless of gender, if you get an RKO'd by Randy Orton. So
Imagine if WWE actually started to do intergender matches more often.
I don't think it'll go down well with the sponsors. Well, as I said, it's a PG era.
It is. They did.
Like you don't
They
see
did
that
have last year. I think they had an intergender match between Rhea Ripley and what's his name, Akira Tozawa.
Yeah, that's all.
Oh yeah, that did happen.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, I forgot.
She's
The
Boston.
Judgment Day do have the tag title, so they could be on SmackDown.
Yeah, they can show it whenever they want, really. Yeah.
Yeah, they really can because the tag titles. Oh yeah, he RKO'd Beth Phoenix too.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was the
but
last
remember
time he
that.
RKO'd a woman.
That's
Oh, wait, no, it was also
I think-
Bliss. Never mind.
I mean, as we know, I think him RKOing Nick Aldis will lead to nothing. Maybe a little punishment, maybe, but I think it'll be like, sorry, it was just reflex.
Maybe.
I mean, yeah, Randy
Maybe
Orton
because
was
he
like,
wanted
I'm the Viper. You can't turn your back on me. And besides, once that happened, Nick Aldis tweeted saying it really is out of nowhere.
That must have been such
So I
a
don't
cool
really
moment
think
for him,
he's
though.
going to take punishment for it.
That must have been such a cool moment for him, though.
Yeah, it was a cool moment,
It
regardless.
was.
Like, regardless of what he does, remember he does as a GM going forward. They'll be like, do you remember when he got RKO'd by Randy Orton? What a legend.
And it happened out of nowhere.
Adam Pearce would never.
It really was out of nowhere. Randy was just like, oh yeah, this guy's holding my arm up. Way, I've signed to SmackDown. Big celebrate. Good times. Come on. RKO.
RKO, bitch.
RKO out of
Hey,
nowhere,
but the way he
boy,
played
boy.
it, the way he held his hands up after was like, sorry, reflex.
I was feeling it when Nick Aldis got into the ring. I could just tell by Randy's expression. He was waiting for it. He was waiting for that moment.
He had that shit-eating grin on his face that he does when he's about to do it.
That shit-eating grin.
Yeah. Just like, I'm about to do it. I'm trying to do it.
And I did it.
But yeah, no. This is there's going to be a lot of interesting possibilities for Randy Orton on SmackDown. I feel like going forward, obviously the short-term option is Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso, Roman Reigns. But I think there's opportunities for him to work with guys like Grayson Waller and Austin Theory and stuff like that. And
Yes.
People were saying that Randy Orton should turn heel at Survivor Series. I think keeping him babyface is a right move for now.
For now, yeah.
Especially
For now.
Yeah.
It makes sense for Randy Orton to go after Roman Reigns because he was one of the guys that took him out.
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
Aled will tell you it was a specific person. I think he said it was Solo who did it specifically. So if they don't
Solo
go
wasn't in the
with-
bloodline. Solo wasn't in the bloodline when Randy
Okay,
got taken out.
it's just the
But
Usos
Drew
then.
was. But they're doing it backwards with both.
Drew
No, the
wasn't.
ones that took out Randy were Roman Reigns and the Usos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a bloodline.
And Drew's
He
blaming
forgave-
Jay for costing him at Clash when in reality it
Wait.
was Solo who did it.
But
Well,
what
I
does
think
it
in
have
the
to do with
short term-
Drew, though?
If Roman doesn't
Yeah.
show up that often, I think most of the feud will be just Randy Orton making Jimmy Uso's life a living hell, but then Solo's going to be in the way. Like, I think
Yeah.
Solo will be the one who stops Jimmy from
I'm
getting
gonna be
RKO'd
honest,
until the very
Don't be
last second.
surprised. Don't be surprised if Jey Uso somehow gets involved because we are getting close to reaching the road to WrestleMania, and they might start building into a Jey versus Jimmy feud.
Wait, and what am I talking about? Randy Orton RKO'd Jimmy on SmackDown. And then he even sold it after the show and he got rolled out as they were putting
Oh
it
yeah,
after.
I saw
Oh, yeah,
a video of
the-
Jimmy still selling
I saw
the
it too.
RKO. It was amazing.
That was funny.
It's like, where's me talking about they're going to prevent it until a certain point? It's already happened, so
Oh yeah.
I'm clearly my memory's a little hazy at the moment.
Another thing that's happening on SmackDown, Logan Paul announced an 8-man tournament to determine his next number one contender for the United States title.
I'm looking forward to this.
Tomorrow we're supposed to have 2 of the quarterfinal matches. One of them between Dragon Lee and Santos Escobar, and the other between Bobby Lashley and Karrion Kross.
I personally think it's a smart choice. I mean, Kevin Owens is supposedly still going to be in it because even though he fractured 2 of his metacarpals, supposedly, whether that's a work or a shoot injury, I don't know. We'll find out, I guess.
I assume
but
Kevin is still going to win it.
I still think Kevin's going to win it, yeah. And I think
Probably, yeah.
I think we've been saying for a little while, for a few weeks since they had that backstage confrontation, face to face sort of thing, even though it wasn't really a confrontation. It was just like they looked at each other in the eyes, and they thought that they were like 2 guys who might kiss. I was like, no, clearly
No.
it won't be that.
No.
I'm
We
joking.
fight, we
Of course
break
they
up,
are.
we kiss,
2 guys
we
who might
make up.
fight. Yeah, okay, Katy Perry, chill out. Anyway, yeah, I think the direction they're going to go in is definitely Logan Paul, Kevin Owens, United States Championship at the Royal Rumble, for sure.
Definitely.
We're kind of ruining the
Yeah.
video for the people doing it tomorrow. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, we're just giving our thoughts.
Whether or not they agree, I don't know. We'll see.
Hey, we're not in the video, so we can say what we want.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
That is true.
I mean, what?
He said that, not us.
Yeah, sue me.
He said it, not me.
Oh, come.
Try
Anyways,
me like for Brian Danielson. I mean, what?
since we're still on the topic of this tournament, there's supposed to be a surprise NXT participant in the tournament. Any guesses on who it could be?
Someone they're willing to let loose.
Axiom, probably.
It could have been Wesley if he didn't get injured, but.
Yeah,
Baron Corbin.
We.
nah.
No.
Baron Corbin's
No.
Baron Corbin's already competing for the
Baron
NXT
Corbin is feuding with
Championship this
Dragunov. What are
Saturday.
you talking about?
Yeah, but they haven't announced who the NXT comparator is yet, so
I
saying-
honestly,
maybe after that.
I'm saying.
honestly, because
I'm saying.
Maybe
either-
Ilya if
It's
he
because-
loses.
I'm gonna say
Axiom?
this person because apparently he's been on several main event tapings. I think it's gonna be Axiom.
I did say that
Could be.
actually. I was thinking it probably would be Axiom because I feel like he'd be somebody they'd be willing to let loose.
Dragon Lee is in it. They brought him because he was one of those more talented wrestlers. I think Axiom is actually a really talented wrestler. He's one of
Yeah.
those fast-paced wrestlers, and he's really, really fast and good.
Well, at least they're not
I
like Nathan Frazier fast, where you're trying to literally decapitate yourself running towards the ropes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
I don't know why I still
I'm gonna
bring that up.
say-
I just remember that botch from months ago. I've still got it in my brain. I'm like, that's just one of. I mean, I get it. Like, you know, he's young and he's still learning and all that. But it's like, seriously, just slow down sometimes. You don't have to hit the ropes that hard every single time.
Yeah, I think it's going to
And
be
they're like,
Axiom.
oh, look at this, the fan telling a professional wrestler what to do again. It's like, do you want to preserve your health or not? Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm
never
going to
mind.
say Axiom is the person.
Axiom.
I'm pretty sure if I was to ask Darby Allin, he would say no, but that's okay.
Yeah, no.
What?
Oh, God. Darby Allin versus Nathan Fraser. Oh, Jesus.
Who can decapitate themselves over the top rope first?
Aled said, you spoiling our video, Liam. I'm surprised you're even here.
Fine. I accept that.
Damn. And
I mean, he is
something
right.
else happened. Yeah.
I woke up this afternoon, so that's why I'm here.
I completely forgot. This SmackDown is actually tribute to the troops. I forgot to mention that. It's tribute to the
Of course.
troops. And CM
means we're
Punk is going to
gonna-
be here.
Yeah!
Look in my eyes. What do you see? CM Punk
CM
on tribute
Punk.
to the troops.
CM Punk back on SmackDown WWE.
Nice.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. I'm
I
here
think
all
it's
week.
just going to be a one-time appearance because CM Punk,
know.
like we said earlier, he's going to be probably signed to Raw because Adam Pearce is going to try to sign him to a Raw exclusive contract.
Well, I feel like it, from a real logical standpoint, now that Randy Orton, who's obviously one of the biggest stars in WWE history, conversely with CM Punk, whether people like him or not, I feel like Raw will need
Star
a big
power.
star on their show because there will be a big hole there, you know. So
Yeah,
they need to-
Randy's SmackDown got Randy. I
That's another
have the
thing. I
feeling
still
that
think. Okay, you go first.
I think they're gonna do what they did with the whole Randy signing. They're gonna have Nick Aldis show up on Raw and try to one up Adam Pearce, and like see where is CM Punk gonna sign with, and he just signs with Raw.
I feel like they're going to do it a bit longer though, because Randy, it just took 4 days or whatever it was.
Wait, what's this?
But
Yeah.
I think like because obviously Randy has a clear motive at the moment of what's going to happen, but the only planted seeds for CM Punk is Seth Rollins at the moment, so it makes it more obvious.
Which is why I think he's eventually gonna go to Raw. Aled says I think Punk stays as a free agent for a while.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like it will be still like a little while. He'll appear on both shows here and there. I'm still curious as to when he'll have his first match, to be honest. I
His
wouldn't say
Royal
last week.
Rumble win decides where he's gonna go.
Yeah, probably. And I feel like he'll choose Seth.
That
anyway.
could be a possibility. That he wins the
Yeah,
Rumble
he's
and just
probably gonna
goes to
pick
Raw.
Seth.
I mean, for me, the Royal Rumble is now between 3 people, but I'll get to that when we do the predictions in January, but it doesn't matter. I'll keep my cards close to my chest for now. I'll probably let
Okay,
it slip once or
look at
twice
you.
when we discuss it again.
Look at you, you Yu-Gi-Oh master.
It's time to duel.
It's time to anyway. We also
Let us discuss.
anyway. We've also discussed what?
I don't know.
Discuss what, Liam?
That
Speaking of
stuff.
Raw, we
Speaking of
found
Raw.
out something pretty sad this past Raw. Jay Uso was no longer allowed to use the word yeet.
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 I'm sure the fans will use it for him.
Yeah, the
Every
fans
time he
can
like-
still yeet. It's just Jay Uso no longer has the trademark for yeet, so he's not able to
He
say
wasn't even allowed
yeet
to say it
anymore.
on the. He wasn't even allowed to say it on the bump.
Yeah, no, he couldn't say it. He also his yeet merch is going to be gone too. I don't know if it's still up or not, but if it is still up and you want yeet merchandise, get it while you can because it'll be gone, I believe.
Yeah, it's definitely clear that somebody else trademarked it and whatever, so it's their copyright. They can use it wherever they go. I think it's an independent wrestler, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's an
but
independent wrestler.
Nobody knows him anyway, so who cares?
Nobody knows.
But then Yeah, he was when they ran a video package about him because obviously he faced Seth Rollins in the main event for the World Heavyweight Championship this past Monday on Raw, and they even censored the clips of where he had the main event T-shirt on in recent weeks. But now
they censored it.
The Yeet, sorry, not the main event T-shirt. I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeet.
Sorry, the Yeet. So it doesn't matter if Ood and Cody Rhodes had a libation or two on the bus that one time, and then they did a press conference and Cody Rhodes was drunk, but Jey Uso was like in another fucking stratosphere. But yeah, so at least we still have that moment. It's in full on WWE's YouTube channel if you still want to watch it and relive the good times of Yeet. But
that's what made the Yeet so popular.
We'll stay. We'll just sit here, take a minute, and be like, yeah, rest in peace, Yeet.
Yeet.
Okay, good. There we go. We're done.
Yeet.
Didn't need a minute, so
Yeet.
we're not doing that for a catchphrase. Yeet.
Yeet.
But the fans are going to keep saying it. Yeet.
It is pretty sad. So
every time he goes,
now that we've gone over Raw and SmackDown, why don't we talk about what's going on with freaking AEW now?
Oh boy.
Because
it's not
there's a lot of stuff to unravel when it comes to AEW recently. So
they've been touring Canada recently.
They have. Something that's been known, or actually, you know what? QT Marshall was someone who decided to leave AEW, and one of the reasons QT Marshall said he was going to be leaving is because AEW was going in a direction that didn't suit QT Marshall, and apparently, what that direction seems to be is Tony Khan taking AEW and making it less of a storyline based product and more of like a pure wrestling based product. That's what I've heard, at least.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like that, and in my opinion, that model is not sustainable.
It isn't.
Because at the moment, they only have 2 to 3 storylines running on TV a week, which at the moment is Who is the Devil? So that involves MJF, Samoa Joe, surrounding people. What else? Christian Cage, Adam Copeland, there's a feud there. That's obviously built over, apparently technically years, but if we're talking recently, it's like 3 months in AEW. Maybe
ever since Wrestle Dream, 2 months.
It was in October, so 2 months. And then I suppose he's
whatever Toni Storm's character is, I guess.
Whatever she's doing, yeah, exactly. The Continental Classic, don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying like that and the in-ring product, and that the fact the person will eventually hold 3 championships and they can go from place to place to place and, you know, defend all 3 or
the Triple Crown.
The Triple Crown, yep. But at the same time, it's like AEW is just not a very good watch right now. Some of the endings to things don't make sense. Like, for example, the main event on Dynamite this past week, which was, of course, the highly anticipated TNT title match between Adam Copeland and Christian Cage live from Montreal.
I didn't watch the show. How did it end?
So basically, the referee got taken out. He was down for like, I would say, 3 or 4 minutes.
Like 5 minutes?
Yeah, 5 minutes, something like that. And then Nick Wayne's and turned heel on Adam Copeland, helping Christian Cage.
As soon as she came out, I knew for a fact
Nick Wayne turned heel on. Wait, did you say Nick
Wayne's mother? Nick Wayne's mother.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and I was like, if this is their way of bringing in Beth Phoenix, it's not a very good way to do it. But because she's not really a wrestler, she's just.
Oh my god! Nick Wayne's mom and Christian Cage can finally get married.
I mean, as I said, I think the other reason they've done it is just to make sure she's close to Nick Wayne again, sort of thing. But it's the only thing that was really annoying is like the referee kind of just basically shot up like nothing had happened. Like he didn't really crawl over; he just sort of shot up and then counted it slowly. And I was like, "You're supposed to crawl like a little bit and then count slowly, not fucking leap like you've just had a fucking Adderall."
I feel like I've talked about this before. I wasn't sure if it was on a podcast, but like when it comes to like the integrity or dignity of the referees in AEW, when it comes to their lack of consistency, when it comes to officiating matches and counting, there have been a lot of moments where it seemed very, very controversial, and it should have
Don't
been
get me
something
wrong,
different.
like the match itself between Copeland and Cage was pretty good for what it was. Like, there's a lot of smooth wrestling. Of course, you would expect that from two veterans of the game, but the finish itself was very poor, in my opinion. But then the Continental Classic stuff on the show was also fairly decent. You know, Swerve Strickland had another win. He's flying high in the tournament. Jay White won again. There was another match
It
on
really
the show.
seems like Swerve is going to win his league.
I think he will win his league, and he's definitely one of two people, in my opinion, who can win the whole thing. It's like between him and
Swerve
Danielson.
can definitely win it. And Aled couldn't say it any better. That ending was worse than Peyton's thumbnails.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I agree. Like me and Aled were here in VC watching AEW last night.
Everyone in VC and everyone in chat, if you agree with Aled's statement where he said the ending was worse than Peyton's thumbnails, say aye. Aye.
In the chat. Aye.
No.
Aye.
Let's see if anyone says aye in chat.
I mean, I'm pretty sure like Vega's not even sent the thumbnail and he said aye. Anyway, the interesting thing about like Adam Page has come back since he lost to Swerve Strickland for the first time at Full Gear. Well, the second time he lost to him, but you know what I mean. It's like since Full Gear, this is the first time he's appeared.
Are they still feuding?
And he said he's not done with them apparently, but then he had a little backstage confrontation with one Maxwell Jacob Friedman, who Renee Paquette was trying to get an interview with in his locker room, or just outside his locker room. And then MJF burst through. He accused Hangman Adam Page of being the devil.
Ooh.
So that's actually kind of interesting. And then later on in the show, Samoa Joe came out. You know, the tag team match between MJF and Samoa Joe was supposed to be against two of the Devil's goons. What happened was the goons surrounded Samoa Joe in the ring by himself, and then the lights went off. Samoa Joe was alone in the ring, and then the Devil appeared on the screen, and all of a sudden, you saw MJF wiped out in the parking lot next to a broken beer bottle. Which means, if you put two and two together, they're trying to make it look like, even though Aled doesn't agree with this, I still think I'm correct anyway, I feel like they're trying to frame Adam Page for being the devil. They're trying to make MJF's accusations seem correct. Because who drinks a lot of beer on the AEW roster, or who was an alcoholic at one point as a gimmick? Hangman Adam Page. So that's kind of interesting, I suppose. But overall, as I said, the in-ring stuff outshines some storyline stuff.
Aled thinks you're wrong, and it's James Storm.
He wants it to be James Storm.
James Storm?
So sorry about your damn luck. Anyway.
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah, I really don't like I'm gonna be honest with AEW's been doing recently. I kind of started to stop watching it, and a lot of fans can say it too, because AEW's ticket sales lately have been really, really bad.
And the attendance, the lack thereof, is really hurting the overall show. Because it's such a... You can even, like, hear it, like, if you know what I mean. Like, it doesn't sound as full. Like, normally, if an arena is full, the sound will, like, travel normally, if you know what I mean. Like, it will hit the bodies and just bounce back towards the ring. But because there's not many people on the hardcam side, or, I don't know, say, opposite the ramp, it's just like the sound will literally just hit the chairs and stay there. The chairs will absorb everything instead of the people. So acoustically, it just sounds like, you know, it's just echoey. Sounds empty.
So,
and then the ratings are going down on TV as well, which with their TV rights negotiations coming up, they might be in a bit of trouble.
You know what I think is a problem with the direction Tony Khan is taking AEW to?
What?
Like with what I was saying earlier, that they want to focus less on storylines. I feel like what Tony Khan is doing, he wants to try to like grab people's attention by just throwing out random dream matches and throwing out all these random matches. Like you can do that, but I don't think it's not going to work it's not going to work because
There's no
you're
storyline.
gonna you're gonna run out of dream matches eventually. It's gonna get too repetitive, and you'll have wasted all of them.
It's
If
not
you do
even that.
storylines,
Yeah, it's like you said, like, as you're probably about to say, right? Storylines, they help matches, big matches, become bigger. Like sometimes a good match can outweigh a bad build, which is very rare. But at the same time, if you have storyline leading into it, and it's not that decent a match, at least you can say, well, the build was good. Do you know what I mean? But with
yeah,
AEW, you can't say that recently, unfortunately, which is really sad. But it is what it is.
It's like
AEW
you're
has just
doing
become,
one-offs
oh,
every
let's get people invested with dream matches. That's basically what AEW is becoming.
I saw something on
It's a,
Twitter recently where apparently they're repeating the same mistakes WCW wants to do, which is bringing in old WWE talent, booking too much in ring stuff, not enough storyline builds.
Speaking of that,
declining
Aled, if you're
attendance.
here, do you still think Hulk Hogan is going to sign with AEW? Type yes or no if you're here.
He probably
I
will
think he
type
does.
yes.
Yeah, I think he's going to type yes.
And then from that, it becomes TNA circa 2010.
TNA 2.0.
Yeah.
More like
TNA 2.0 because TNA is
WCW
coming back next
2.0.
year.
I mean, TNA 2.0 isn't the one that's going to come in 2024. It's very exciting anyway. So they're not going to be. There's not going to be.
Yeah,
Hogan
he said
or
yes.
anything like that.
Basically, AEW went from being the alternative to just another one of those companies.
Yeah.
Like they're just there.
It's like it's fallen off badly.
It went from being good at first to just not good. Like it
No, it's
went downhill quickly.
I mean, they've announced
And
more
it's not.
dates for a
They have.
Canadian tour next year, which is, I mean, it's kind of exciting for them, I guess. But if anything, this tour's to go by, I don't think it'll be that largely successful with the current way they're going.
Another thing, it's not just the fans, too. It's also some of the wrestlers. QT Marshall left. Apparently, the Hardys are upset with what's going on. Britt Baker is upset. There's several wrestlers that aren't happy with where the company is going.
I mean, especially like when you've just signed Will Ospreay, for example, who's an absolutely massive get. But at the same time, in his first little date might be that Canadian tour from February through March, that sort of thing, and April. But it's like, what happens if he eventually? I know he's like getting paid millions per a million something per year, whatever it is. But how long do you hold on to somebody like that if rankings are going down, people are leaving because they don't believe in it anymore?
True.
This
Like,
is also.
they need to fix up and fast. They need to change things up
You
on
know what
TV.
makes this worse? You know what makes this worse for AEW? This is happening at a time where WWE is seriously beginning to go upwards. It's a horrible time for AEW to be going down when WWE is going up massively. Bringing back Randy Orton, bringing back CM Punk. It's horrible times for AEW right now. Because people are going to be tuning into WWE because they have their Randy Ortons, they have their CM Punks. So they're not really going to be paying attention to AEW.
And
True.
WWE recently, they're getting their balance right as well. Like they have enough storyline to make you care about everyone up and down the card, and the in-ring products, especially recently, I think has been high quality and delivered quite massively. Like if you
I'm
look
going to be
at
honest, WWE really has amped up with their wrestling. The stars definitely have amped up their wrestling.
there's more wrestling per shows, but even though I saw a recent tweet where apparently it was only like there was this amount of wrestling on this show this week, and it was like because Raw last week, it had a lot of in-ring promos and backstage segments and whatever, but this week that wasn't the case. Definitely not. Like there was definitely a lot more wrestling on this week's shows in WWE sense. I'm pretty sure there'll be some tomorrow because, as we said, the United States Championship tournament's getting underway, so there's going to be some time there for guys like Dragon Lee and Santos Escobar, and the other match, which I have forgotten.
Bobby Lashley and Karrion Kross.
Karrion Kross.
That's probably why I forgot, because the thing they're doing with Bobby Lashley is really confusing. Like, the Street Profits are with them, but it's like they're moving away from the heel direction. They might be babyface, and then, well, Karrion Kross is Karrion Kross, and nobody likes him.
It's like they're babyface, but they're not. And they're heel, but they're not.
Yeah, it's a very strange position they're in. I think they're still trying to figure out what they want to do with them, because it's like people just don't want to boo the Street Profits that they can't.
They don't want to boo Bobby
even.
Lashley either.
Yeah, they like all three.
They like Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits.
So I think that maybe there's the way they're trying to like turn Santos Escobar heel, and eventually they're going to bring in 2 other people to stick with him. I think probably. So
I like what they're doing with Santos, the way they're moving his heel. I like how they're making Santos Escobar a heel. It's pretty good.
Okay, I think this is the part where we need to fill some time because we're a bit short of where we would usually finish. So I mean, NXT Deadline's coming up this weekend, right?
Yeah, NXT Deadline.
Yeah.
The last NXT pay-per-view of the year.
You know what? This won't mean anything. This won't mean anything because we're not going to put the Wrestle Arc title on the line until Royal Rumble. But
you mean World's End?
Is anyone up for predictions?
You mean World's End?
I mean, I'm down.
Or yeah, right. World's End. World's End is the next time the Wrestle Arc title is going to be on the line. But if you guys want to do predictions for fun,
we can do that for fun. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Why not?
All right, sounds cool. I just gotta pull up the card because I think there's like 6 or 7 matches.
Disclaimer: we won't be live reacting to Deadline.
We're just gonna give predictions on who's gonna win.
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah.
So it'll just be like an internal thing. We'll announce results when we get to the World's End predictions video in a couple of weeks' time, or whenever that is. But
we can probably do this and probably edit off.
Edit out this live stream? No, we can't do that.
Wait, what are you talking about?
It's just Peyton suggesting that we do this segment on a live podcast and then edit it out for no fucking reason.
No,
I just don't see.
No.
Well, Peyton,
we're not going to argue live on air about this, okay?
That's
yeah.
That ain't what I meant.
Explain yourself.
Literally, we could just do this. Our final thing for today is going to be do predictions, and then we'll be done for today. That's what I meant.
Okay, yeah, but we're not going to edit it out and post. This is staying in.
Yeah, I know that.
Because the show has to go to time. Anyway.
All right. I got the match card. There are 7 matches. One of them being on the kickoff show. First match, which is on the kickoff show, is Axiom versus Nathan Frazer.
Ooh.
I'm going to go first, and I'm going to say I think Axiom is going to win because I think they're going to have him win, and I think he's going to be the one that's put in the U.S. title number 1 contenders tournament.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah. Peyton, what about you?
Axiom.
Yep.
Yeah,
Vega.
I think Axiom is going to win this match.
And Liam?
As much as I really like Nathan Frazer because he's English and all that, and that he likes to hit the ropes as hard as possible and represent himself, because that's really fun. I still think Axiom's going to win because I pretty much agree with the same sentiment as you that he'll be the one entered into the US Championship Open tournament. There'll be a match with Dragon Lee and Santos Escobar, and it'll be exciting Lucha Libre stuff. So yes, Axiom wins.
All right. Next match we've got is a singles match between Carmelo Hayes and Lexis King. Carmelo Hayes versus Lexis King, a.k.a. Brian Pillman Jr.
Him versus the most boring and bland oralist bitch in the world.
Carmelo Hayes wins. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
I agree. Fuck Lexis King. He's so fucking boring. He's got the emotional range of a fucking celery.
He's got the emotional range of a dead chicken.
Yeah, sure does.
Yep. Carmelo Hayes wins this match.
Alrighty. Vega.
I have a feeling Lexus King could win, but I'm going with Carmelo anyway.
The fact that this is his first feud shows that they see something in him, and apparently we don't.
I know they're saying that Lexus King is like the one who supposedly took out Trick Williams, but I still think it's Mello. But that's just me. They're just going to hold off on it until they can be asked to reveal that properly. But I don't know if they've done an angle since they caught them on CCTV or whatever. But I think, in my opinion, Mello needs a win to bounce back from losing the NXT Championship to Ilya. So,
All right. Next match we have is Kiana James versus Roxanne Perez in a steel cage match. Should be interesting. I have Roxanne Perez winning this match.
I have Roxanne.
Liam?
Roxanne.
All she wanna do is party all night. Sorry.
Roxanne.
Vega.
Roxanne.
Roxanne Perez. Next match we have here is, this was originally supposed to be Dominic Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio defending the North American Championship against Wesley. But unfortunately, Wesley is unable to fight because he has to have back surgery and will be out for 8 to 12 months. So we wish Wesley a speedy recovery and hope he gets healed up real soon and he can come back in the ring.
Yeah.
And instead, as we mentioned earlier, Dominic will defend the title against Dragon Lee. And for this, at first, I thought Wesley was going to take the title off of Dominic Mysterio, but now that we have this going on, I think Dominic's going to keep the title for a longer term. I think Dominic retains.
Yeah, same.
I agree,
Dominic
because
wins.
I feel like they've got to a point with his reign where he's, appeared here and there in NXT and elevated the status of the title again. Because as I think I've said in other servers recently, I think Dominic is by far the breakout star and the most improved person in WWE, maybe all of wrestling actually this year. From an in-ring
Either him or LA Knight.
Him or LA Knight, yeah. But
yeah,
from
Yeah.
as I said, I think anyway, I feel like Wesley would have won the title here if it wasn't for the unfortunate injury, which is going to rule him out for 8 to 12 months. Wish him all the best, speedy recovery, all that stuff. Entertaining wrestler, of course, and when he gets back, I'm sure he'll kill it again and win that title again someday.
Wesley was one of the greatest North American champions of all time. He was the longest reigning North American champion of all time, actually.
Well, that's good. Before him, because before him it was the Velveteen Dream, and we don't talk about that.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. Yeah, we don't talk about him.
Yeah.
No. So we all have Dominic?
Yep.
See, senor.
Now we have the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge. Do you guys know how the Iron Survivor Challenge match works?
Is it like
not
an
really.
Iron Man match, but different?
So basically, it's a 5-person match. It starts off with 2 people. At random time intervals, another person will come out. This will continue until all 5 participants are in the ring. It's basically like an Iron Man match where you have to have the most falls in order to win. However, if someone scores a fall on you, you have to enter what is called a penalty box for 90 seconds. And after those 90 seconds are done, you can get back in the ring and try to get yourself some falls. It is a 30-minute time limit, and if you have the most falls by the end of the 30 minutes, you are the Iron Survivor. And if you win, you will become the next challenger for the NXT Women's Championship.
Gotcha. I think I recall watching one of these matches at one point in NXT. I don't remember what year it was.
Last year, I think.
Probably, yeah.
The competitors in this match are Tiffany Stratton, Fallon Henley, Lash Legend, Kalani Jordan, and Blair Davenport. And I'm going to say this right now. I'm actually going to pick Blair Davenport to win.
Interesting.
I got Blair Davenport. I feel like most people are going to say Tiffany Stratton, but I actually don't think she wins, and I think Blair Davenport is going to get the win. I feel like she's the most ready out of all the women.
To face Lyra. What was it?
Lyra's the champion.
Okay.
Lyra Valkyrie is the champion.
Lyra Valkyrie is the champion.
Okay. I'm gonna go for Blair as well.
Vega.
Honestly, I can agree with you. I think Blair Davenport is going to win this match. I don't think Tiffany.
Oh, by the
needs
way,
to win.
it's 25 minutes, not 30.
Oh, so
Would you like
I thought it was like an hour.
No,
What?
That's too long, bro.
no, that is way too long.
I mean, okay, at least it's not an Iron Man match, so it's fine.
It basically is an Iron Man match, but more
It's
complicated.
just in
Yeah.
less time. and
Yeah,
not
when you
an
were
hour.
reading off the match rules, I was like, this is way too complicated. Why did they have this?
Yeah,
I don't like with war games, but you know.
and
Yeah.
Liam last because I know who you're going to predict.
Do ya?
Yeah,
I mean, initially, I would have said Blair Davenport as well for pretty much the same reason. I feel like she is very ready to step up and challenge for the NXT Women's Championship because that was her and Tiffany Stratton. It was between them two for me, but I feel like Tiffany Stratton is going to win because Nikita Lyons is back and wants to kick Blair Davenport in the fucking face every 5 minutes. So,
was it
Yeah.
Blair Davenport specifically that she attacked?
yes. You know, they were all coming out to brawl. Blair was on the stage and then she turns around and she got kicked in the face by
That does not
big booty
make
bitch.
sense. Actually, you know what?
Mm.
Yeah, it does make sense because Blair Davenport. I think Blair Davenport was the one that took her out when she was like the
And
masked
they had to
girl or
write her off
something.
to go away and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I'm still gonna go with Blair Davenport though.
Same.
I'll go with Tiffany Stratton just to be safe. But
And then we've got the men's Iron Survivor Challenge. In this match is Braun Breaker, Dijak, Josh Briggs, Trick Williams, and Tyler Bate. And for this match, I'm going to go with Trick Williams. I'm going to go with Trick Williams to get the title opportunity.
okay.
How about you, Vega?
He is going to whoop that Trick. Trick Williams for the win.
Liam?
Whoop that trick.
Trick Williams is so over.
I feel
Yeah,
like
he's
if
Trick
Trick
Williams.
wins this, it'll like set up more of the storyline between him and Carmelo.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Trick Williams wins. He gets the number one title, the number one contender shot, and he goes to face who's the champion again? Right, Ilya Dragunov.
Ilya Dragunov, yeah.
How dare you forget?
We get Trick Williams versus Ilya Dragunov, and Carmelo Hayes, I think, costs him the title there.
Ooh.
And that's when the turn happens, and they set up for Stand and Deliver, I think.
I think
What,
so.
WrestleMania
Mhm.
weekend?
Yeah, or Vengeance Day because that's closer.
Or probably Wednesday. Yeah, I'm going for Trick too.
What about New Year's Eve?
Everybody
Is
has
that still a thing? Yeah.
Whoop that trick.
Whoop that trick. What? Whoop that.
Woo, Trick, Trick.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
And
it.
now,
Oh yeah, man.
lastly, we have the NXT Championship match between Ilya Dragunov, the champion, and Baron Corbin, the challenger.
Corbin ain't winning this
I'm
title.
not gonna lie, I like what Baron Corbin has done during this rivalry. I think coming back to NXT was the right move for Baron Corbin because I feel like he's just gotten better.
He's a man
He's
rejuvenated.
gotten much
for
better.
sure.
He's rejuvenated, like reborn.
I feel like he's not like taking his run down there for granted, and that's why he's like, really stepped up his game both in ring he was always solid, but he's gotten better. And
He's
then on the
definitely stepped up
microphone-
on the mic.
on the
Yeah,
microphone.
he
He's
has.
better than he's ever been. Like, it just doesn't
Oh,
sound
yeah.
as it doesn't sound as
And his
awkward. It
character
doesn't
work.
sound as scripted. Maybe they've actually allowed him they've given him some bullet points to hit in regards to the feuds, and then that he just says whatever he feels. Maybe, I don't know. It just
I
feels
think-
more
Ilya
authentic.
retains.
I think this is the best we've seen Baron Corbin yet. Maybe even better than his Lone Wolf run. Maybe. But
That
that's
being
just
said,
me.
I
That
Ilya
being said,
Dragunov
all this
retains.
talk about Baron Corbin, yeah, Ilya Dragunov retains.
Yep.
because
Ilya
he has more
Draga?
retains.
connections to the Carmelo and Trick stuff, so I think it makes sense for Ilya to retain.
Yeah.
Ilya
Yeah,
Dragunov to retain.
I'm also going with Ilya Dragunov to retain.
Seems like everybody's on the same page, and that is all the matches for NXT Deadline. I don't think we've made good time. Do you think so?
Yeah.
I think we made
think
good
so.
time.
I think so.
Well, we're 10
Pretty
minutes
sure,
shy.
yeah.
We're about 8 minutes shy of the normal hour we would do, but yeah, I feel like we've discussed all that needs to be discussed.
Oh, wait. One other thing.
No, that's
There's been talks about Mercedes Moné potentially on where she will go.
Yeah, I
There's-
mean now apparently the AEW's in the predicament they're in. Her WWE return is supposedly more likely than before.
Yeah, it's more likely that Mercedes Moné will be coming back to WWE. Do we think it happens?
It's been a very slow news
Hopefully,
week,
a
so
Sasha
that's
Banks, please.
nah.
I don't think it's
she
going to be
needs
a Sasha Banks.
she needs to come back
Yes.
as Mercedes Moné. Mercedes
No.
Moné is yes.
No.
Because
Why not,
Mercedes
Peyton?
Mercedes
not-
Moné is by far a
they
better
are-
character.
No, it's not.
It is though.
Yes, it is.
It
Peyton.
is not.
It's more authentic to who she is as a person. So Sasha Banks was similar and whatever, but it's like
Besides,
Mercedes Moné is
she already
an
has like
evolution.
this. She already has like this whole like thing bought out of her name, so they're probably going to have to bring her back as Mercedes Moné.
Look, if they want to sign her again, they need to do what they did with Cody Rhodes, which is let her use her new her new gimmicks and her new music and her new, whatever merchandise.
Payne, you're the only one who thinks she should come back as Sasha Banks, so we know you're wrong.
I mean, yeah, she's more known by WWE fans by that name,
What's
but
gonna happen?
whether or not she wants to go back to that name, it's up to her.
It's gonna be AEW.
How do you know, Peyton? Where's your proof?
Source? Trust me, bro. That's your source.
Yeah, trust me, bro. That's a source.
Exactly.
The fake wrestling fan with sources.
It's gonna be in.
Fourth it.
She's gonna be in AEW.
Fourth it. My fourth is today that this is where she was going to go.
Just end.
The freaking lisp. The freaking lisp. I love it. But before we end it, everyone, you know what to do when I count down. 3, 2,
No.
1. Hashtag fake wrestling fan. Yeah, like I said earlier,
Christmas.
Mercedes Moné, she has the Mercedes brand, so she's kind of
She's
got to come
put
back
a
to
lot
that
of
name.
time into that brand, so she can't exactly just go and drop it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she can't just drop the band. The band. Yeah, the band is dropping.
Yeah,
It's dropping, guys. I miss.
the band.
She had such good music.
The band. Yeah.
The band has been dropped. I'll never forget their #1 hit.
And you can take that to the fucking bank.
You can bank on that.
Yeah. Also,
But,
there's another. But we've got 5 more minutes, so there's also something else I've seen about Andrade El Idolo.
Oh.
Apparently, he's not very happy with his position in AEW at the minute either. I'm not surprised. He's had a very difficult time there with a lot of stuff going on backstage and all that. But Tony Khan doesn't like him. Sammy Guevara doesn't like him. But apparently, before going back to WWE, he wants to do a run in CMLL in Mexico. So
that's where he made his name, right? CMLL.
Yeah, that's where he made his name. That's how WWE got wind of him. That's how they signed him. And I feel like with Triple H in charge of the main roster creative, when he does, should he ever eventually return to WWE, I feel like there's a lot of things they could do with him.
Yeah, I feel like they're open to bringing him back.
So I feel like if we can all agree on something, is that AEW's greatly wasted his talent, but at the same time he's kind of made himself a bit of a nuisance with, the backstage politics and drama and what have you. But
Like with Sammy Guevara.
yeah.
Was it with Sammy Guevara that he had the backstage
Yes.
thing with? Yeah, what
Yes.
was it, like a fight?
Yeah. So I'm just going to ask you guys right now before we go off the air. We've got 4 minutes. Does Andrade go back to WWE? Yes or no?
No.
At some point, maybe.
No,
Never
he's
say
going
never.
to CMML.
Well, yeah, that, but I said eventually.
I think yes. I think he goes back.
I mean, Charlotte's there, so
Charlotte
That's
is
his-
there.
that's his wife.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
This is lady.
I think he goes back. Peyton?
No. I don't see it, honestly.
You can't see
Everybody-
everything at this
Peyton-
point.
You can't see anything. You're
Look at
blind as-
Peyton. Look at Peyton being a Debbie Downer today. He's being a Debbie
heel.
Downer today.
He's being the ultimate heel just because we're preventing him from doing his game live stream. Oh no. Sorry, that was me. Anyway, let's get out of here.
All right, but before we do get out of here, we would like to thank SeatGeek for sponsoring this episode of the Wrestle Arc Podcast. SeatGeek is the #1 place where you can buy tickets for comedy shows, Broadway shows, sporting events, you name it, they have it. SeatGeek also has the best deals for tickets, so you don't get screwed when you try to buy seats. Be sure to go to SeatGeek.com, go to SeatGeek.com, or download the mobile device today. And we also like to thank our other sponsors at TeePublic. TeePublic is where you can get the official merchandise for the Wrestle Arc Podcast. You can get t-shirts like my Cue the Explosions t-shirt, Liam's London Nightmare t-shirt, Aled's The Welsh Dragon t-shirt, and much more. Get t-shirts right now because they are $16 right now. You can only get shirts at that price for the next 8 hours. So be sure to get your t-shirts while you can at tpublic.com. That's tpublic.com/user/WrestleArc in the description below. But
And
again, we'd
also,
like to
one
thank
more
you
thing,
guys
one
for
more
tuning
thing,
in.
One more thing. Happy birthday, John Moxley.
Happy birthday, Moxley.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Moxley.
birthday, Mox.
Please don't
Happy
bleed
birthday,
everywhere
John
of your
Moxley.
party.
All right.
Please don't bleed everywhere of
End
your
it.
party, and please avoid all the blunts.
But again, we'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Be sure to tune in tomorrow because there will be a video coming out by Aled, Raul, and Peyton. Be sure to check out the gaming channel as well because we've uploaded some new stuff there regarding GTA 6. We're probably going to have a bit more content relating to GTA 6 on the channel, so be sure to keep an eye out on there. Be sure to check out all our individual channels as well. But again, thank you guys for watching. This has been the Wrestle Arc Podcast, and we'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, everybody.